Wow. Hello. Hello, chat. Did you miss me? If you didn't, I hate you. No, I'm joking. That's fine. Well, you guys been having a good week. Or 2 weeks, technically, because I was out for a while, wasn't I? Did you have a good 2 weeks? It's been a while, haven't it? Hello, everybody. Hello, Ace. Hello, Pillow. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Mineral. Hello, Casper. Hello, Anja. Whoa, so many people. Too many people. Some of you need to leave. Whoa, crazy. Okay. I'm having a good week. Sort of. Little bit of a good week, maybe. Mostly good week. I had COVID, so that made it worse. I won't lie to you. That was pretty bad. Pillow, come back! No! Don't leave me. My friends. You started group therapy? Oh, that's good. That's really good. Anxiety is a bitch, Mineral. Hopefully that helps. If not, I'm sorry. You could try being addicted to ice cream. That's what I do. I don't know if it's really healthy or good for you, but it's what I do. I'm eating lunch right now because I just finished recording a Valentine's collab for y'all. But today we're gonna do our regular recording sesh that I was meant to be doing last week when I was dying of COVID. So, the plan is, we do... Hold on, I had a plan, I promise. I remember what the plan was. We're doing Piper, and then we're doing an aggressively gay Drary fic. And then, we're doing PGO. We're gonna do Percy Jackson. Just one. Because I've had a little bit of requests, and I thought it might be fun. So it'll be great. It's really, really hot outside, so I'm gonna turn on my, my AC once in a while. So if you hear aggressively loud air in my background noise, it's because I don't want to die of heat exhaustion. So yeah, all dry. Yeah, this one's especially gay. You know how all my fics that I read are usually pretty gay? This one's especially gay. I know because I'm gay. This is gonna surprise you all. I'm actually gay. So I know when things are like really gay because I have like, what's it called? Gaydar. I have incredible gaydar, but only for fan fiction. So, guaranteed gay fest. It's great. It's gonna be amazing. That's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. And then, I know, right? This is so surprising for everyone. I've been keeping it hidden for years, but I am also gay. Like, no one realized this. This is new. The closet was demolished years ago, really. But in case you hadn't noticed, my gay ass is here. So that's the plan. We're gonna be having fun. And then, we're gonna be after doing that, we might do another chapter Piper. We'll see. My voice is still recovering from the COVID, so every now and again I'm gonna have to take a break because my sinuses are backed up, straight backed up. So every now and again I have to take a break and pause and clear my nose because goddamn, the COVID really hits, man. I thought it was gonna be like 3 days in and out fast, but nah. It lasts 3 years. And also I have to take a break every now and again because I'm eating pasta. I had 2 pieces of bread for breakfast and now I have to go pasta. It's gonna be great. I don't even know what day it is for you guys. I think it's Monday. Some of you really should be at school. But hopefully it's going well. I'm gonna move away from the mic so you guys can't hear me eat. That's sort of feel self-conscious. I'm really hungry though. Anyway, Pillow had, well, I would say he had an idea, but we might also be phrasing it as a demand. He very forcefully suggested I do a collab with another creator I respect, and respect I do. So I messaged the very talented Eleanor Elizabeth and asked if she wanted to record a Valentine's Day special with me. And she did, thank God, because my self-esteem was really riding on that. I won't lie to you. If she said no, I would have been a little bit heartbroken. But she said yes, and it's good. So we recorded that this morning, and we ran a little bit late, which is why I said I was going to stream at 12, and I'm not streaming at 12 for me. I'm streaming at 1, so 1 hour late. My bad. But I'm here now. I'm recording. It's going to be great. Is it night for some of y'all? I don't know what time it is in America. Hopefully you guys, if you're sleeping, if you need to be sleeping, you're sleeping. Because, believe me, I am not worth it. I am straight up not worth it. Please, if you need to, go to bed. I know, right? Eleanor, she's so sweet. Oh my god. The nicest person. We had great fun reading together. I hope you guys check out our collab. She's got the spicy one on her channel, and I've got the less spicy, slightly more angsty. I know, right? We completely switched vibes. But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you liked the Full Monty, when I read that one, you'll really like the one on her channel. Check her out if you've never heard of her. She's amazing. So, highly recommend that. And then I'm going to be reading the slightly angsty one. Some of you guys asked for angst on my channel, and I don't think you realize how boring it would be if I read angst in my deadpan-ass voice. But, we did it anyway, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. So, I hope you guys check those two out. They'll be released, not in the next 24 hours, but in the next 48 hours. So, we'll be posting it whatever 12 midday Valentine's Day LA time is. That will be when we post it, so yeah. That's the plan. What chapter does anyone know what chapter we're up to on Pied Piper? Because I don't. Like, I'm straight up don't. Are we on 17? We are on 17. Oh, wonderful. I do remember. I lied. Okay. My deadpan is gonna be so sad, though. It's meant to be, like, emotional, and I'm just like, Draco is sad. He's still sad. Hi, Denevy! Wow, very excited. I'm glad some people are excited. I think maybe I'm just dehydrated. I have water, but I'm still dehydrated, because in Australia, you can never be too hydrated. It's literally impossible. You have to, like, bathe in bath water and drink it through your skin. Anyway. What point was I making? I don't know. We're gonna do Pied Piper first, because that is tradition, and then we'll do... I think we'll do Drowry. And then we'll do Percy Jackson as like a little wind down. It'll be great. Let's have some fun. I've already been reading all morning, so my voice is already ready. My body is ready. Let's read. Anyway. Pied Piper by Black Hole CA. Read by Mika. Chapter 17. Absolute Zero. I think I died. Nope, I hate that. That was so deadpan. See what I mean, guys? I can't do angst. I think I died. The boy murmurs quietly, distraught. His voice barely above a whisper. What the f? His voice barely... Wow, I really can't say anything today. Okay, one more try. Ah! His voice barely... Nope. Yo, I said I was so ready, and then I did this instead. His voice barely above a whisper, until his words began to take on a more hysterical note. I think he killed me. What? Neo's brows furrow inward, confusion pulling at his features. What are you talking about? He killed me. The 15-year-old repeats, sucking in a sharp breath as he stares down at their overlapping hands. Sakauchi's grip tightens gently, a comforting squeeze, a grounding one. Midoriya, you're not dead. His quirk. It killed me. Neo searches his friend's face, looking for something that he doesn't find. Was it... Oh, wow. I completely forgot I was meant to be reading in a voice. Oh my god, guys. I've been bored, right? Because I did ASMR last week, so I've been checking out other people's roleplay ASMR. And I won't say the name of the channel, because that's really mean. But I was listening to one channel because I was really bored. And he does, like, mostly, like, romantic ASMR. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, romantically inclined ASMR. And he was like, his voice is really nice. Like, he's got a really, like, calming voice. So I was listening to it. And I just couldn't take him seriously because there was not a single emotion behind his voice. Like, I'm being genuinely serious. He read everything off, like, presumably his script, or maybe he was doing impromptu. He read it like he was at a funeral. I was like, boy, have you ever experienced an emotion? An emotion. Just one. And it was so hard because I really wanted to like it because his voice was really sweet. And it's really nice to listen to. And he had, like, really good, like, ideas. But I just couldn't take it seriously because it was like, actually, I'm in love with you too. And I've been thinking about you all the time. And I can't stop thinking about you. And I think maybe I'm genuinely... And you're like, what the fuck is going on? My dude, have you experienced pain or happiness or anything? Literally anything. Find. I was so sad. Like, I was genuinely devastated. Find. Anyway, that's what I've been doing this week while I've been incredibly sick. I've been listening to, like, every roleplay ASMRist on YouTube. Was it some sort of illusionary quirk? Did he show you your death, or... No, Scalchi. Izuku whispers quietly. I died. Midoriya finally looks up, gaze latching desperately onto Leo's. In the younger boy's eyes, the 17-year-old can see where the void is formed, can see where the stars in his eyes have collapsed into black holes. Midoriya's pupils serve as their singularities. His irises, they're encompassing... What the fuck does this mean? Y'all, they're doing space talk again. Midoriya... Y'all, I can't read this. I don't work at NASA. Where am I? Oh, yeah. Y'all, we gotta Google this shit.
Accretion.
Astrophysics?! Y'all, I'm too stupid for this fig. Midoriya's pupils serve as their singularities. His irises, their Midoriya's pupils serve as their singularities. His irises, their encompassing accretion discs. One a flaming crimson, and the other a blazing jade. The stars that had one... Don't Google paste the description, it makes me worried. It sounds too complicated. Jade. Do you ever think about space for too long or just spiral about why humans exist? Nah. But I can see why someone would. I think I'm just not smart enough to have, like, existential crises. I think that's only something smart people do. The stars that had once resided within Izuku's viridescent eyes have come irrevocably undone. Irrevocably. Fucking hell, this guy's... Yo, why is there, like, PhD English in this shit? The stars that had once resided within Izuku's viridescent eyes have come irrevocably undone. And Neo can see just how terribly gravity has crushed them. Can see how mercilessly it had forced those stars to collapse. He watches as the black holes pull in all, sucking out the life and hope and joy that had once resided in its place. Neo finds himself unable to move for a moment, struck by just how terribly haunted Midoriya's eyes look. You're not hurt, are you? No. No, I hate that. No. But Nail can see the way Izuku's limbs tremble, and rouses himself into checking the other boy, worried that he might be in shock. He looks for signs of blood or bruises, but finds no more than the vigilante usually has. Sakachi looks back up, searching Midoriya's eyes. Do you want to tell me what happened? Nail shifts, sitting down on the floor and crossing his legs, Midoriya following his example. Izuku takes a moment, before his mouth parts shakily. I thought I was finally going to get her, he whispers. I thought I'd finally be able to save her. More tears well up in the teen's already red eyes. But I fucked it up again, the boy hisses, tears spilling over. I got some intel about where the 8 precepts were, and I was following up on it. Nail tenses at the mention of the group's name, watching as crystalline tears slip down Midoriya's flushed cheeks. I was just looking around the neighborhood they were supposed to be in, and I ran into one of the members. Izuku's voice shakes, fear bubbling up inside his chest like magma. Sakachi, his quirk. It took me apart. It killed me. I wasn't sure what happened at first. My mind was all in pieces, but he killed me. I know it. Midoriya's voice takes on a hysterical note, hands shaking uncontrollably now. All he did was brush my fingers. A sob bubbles up through his lips. And then there was nothing. Bro, this fic got dark. Do you remember what it used to be about, like, people shitting in bathtubs? Damn! So much sad shit. Y'all, remember when I said I was gonna be reading angst? Here's the angst, y'all. Here's the angst. Engineers don't necessarily do the English thing well. Really? Oh, shit. Really? I thought they do a lot of, like, writing. Mostly math, though, right? Hey, Yuri. You're in an online class? Damn. Already started? Can't relate. I start uni in what, like a week? I am not excited. My timetable's gonna be going down the drain. I'm gonna have to stream on a different day. I'm gonna have no time to myself. Not excited. Really not excited. But you know, I am graduating this year. So that's cool. How many people can say that? By the end of this year, I'm gonna have a degree. What? Mom, this is so good. Mom is so good at cooking them. Y'all don't even know how good Indian mothers are at cooking. They'll be like, I'm trying Italian, and then you eat it, and it's like perfect. And you're like, what the fuck, man? Amazing. Sorry, I'll try and eat away from the mic so you all don't have to hear me eat. I wanna read engineer fanfiction now. I'm assuming it's just math. I don't know if it would be very comprehensible for me, but I would try. I actually have a theory that engineers write all of the BL scripts for Thai BL, because there are so many engineering colleges. Like, there's so many BLs that are set in engineering colleges, like, they have to be written by people who took engineering and, like, traumatized, and they're processing it through aggressively gay dramas. That's my theory, anyway.
Nail wakes up first, rising only a few hours later, the sky just a few shades lighter than it had been when he'd fallen asleep. Why did my mouth make that noise? My mouth grumbled like my stomach. Now I gotta redo this. Goddamn. Nail wakes up first, rising only a few hours later, the sky just a few shades lighter than it had been when he'd fallen asleep. He could have slept another hour or two before he would have actually needed to be up, but he rouses himself for Midoriya's sake. The boy had ended up staying over for the night, passing out on a futon Reo had pulled from his closet. The 15-year-old, too emotionally unstable for the teen to let his friend leave in good conscience. Takachi slowly pushes himself up, staring down at the younger boy through hazy eyes. He's still asleep, breathing quietly, peacefully, too tired to dream. Midoriya had called into himself sometime during the night, rolling over to face Deo's bed. Sakachi's chest aches when he remembers just how distraught the boy had been just hours earlier. How terrified. The boy's hair is ruffled, and the dark circles strung beneath his eyes have never looked so saturated before. But Deo would be willing to accept both as the new normal, as long as the next time his friend's eyes fluttered open, that those black holes he'd seen last night were gone. Takachi picks himself quietly up from his bed, its frame creaking from its shifting weight. The 17-year-old carefully steps over Midoriya's body, making his way to where he'd plugged the younger boy's phone in earlier. It's barely 6, but Neo unlocks the phone and types out a new message to Inko. Yo, I need to record the Discord notification. Ah! I nearly deleted my recording. I need to record the Discord notification sound again. So, give me a second. I have to turn off my tracking so I can record this. And might have to sit through another 15-second Discord ad for a 2-second video. But you know, that's how life works now. Fucking hell. I'm supposed to make a channel or something to keep my channel but not let it die. But I'm going through a terrible illness called... What a mood, man. What a mood. Mine's called throat infection. Man, it's horrible. Also procrastination though. Like, sometimes I got a little bit of both. Alright, give me 1 second. Wonderful. Back to face tracking. Do you miss me? I'm back, boys. I'm back in the club. There we go. Put my phone back on charge. Okay. I just needed that one notification sound and I think we're good to go. Yep, sounds good. Izuku. I couldn't sleep well. Oh, jeez, that was bad. Izuku. I couldn't sleep last night. Oh, wow, that was really bad. I couldn't sleep well last night, so I'm out on a run. I've got my uniform with me and I'll already ate. What the hell is going on with me today? I couldn't sleep well last night, so I'm out on a run. I've got my uniform with me and I already ate, so I'll see you after practice is out. Love you. Neo lets out a sigh once it's delivered, and there's no immediate response, praying that the woman doesn't question the lie. Sakachi's mouth stretches into a yawn, before he slips out of his room to start some rice. Hello, Cat and Umbrella. That's a very long name, I love it. Oh no, Mineral's also sick. I think you mentioned that on Discord, right? I hope you get better. It's not fun. Mom, That's fine, sweetie. Just be safe. I love you too. Midoriya wakes up slowly, his gaze heavy and unfocused. He feels numb. He can hear the quiet murmur of life sleeping. Sleeping? It's sleeping. It's sleeping. He can hear the... I don't think it's sleeping. He can hear the quiet murmur of life seeping through Sakauchi's cracked bedroom door. The 15-year-old gently pushes himself up into a seated position. He looks around blearily, glancing out the window to watch light slant down the alley walls outside, as the sun finally breaks over the tops of the surrounding buildings. Neo slips into the room from behind him, his hair damp and school pants already on. He makes a few quiet shuffling noises to alert the younger boy to his presence before he speaks. I made some rice and heated up some miso soup for breakfast. You might not be hungry, but I'd suggest eating something. Worry stains over Sakauchi's amber eyes, as Midoriya pulls one of their hero blankets over his shoulders, merely nodding his head along in response. Neo sighs, slipping back out the door to grab the younger boy some food, bringing back 2 small balls. Balls! Or to grab the younger boy some food. I'd like to apologize for my behavior. Bringing back 2 small bowls. Bowls? Bowls. Bringing back 2 small bowls. He hands one directly to his friend, and sets aside the other for later. Do you think you'll go to school today? Izuku quietly lifts a bite of rice into his mouth, before gently shaking his head no. You'll be fine if you don't go, right? Midoriya stares silently at the wall, as he bobs his head. My teachers won't call home, he murmurs quietly. See ya, Anja. It's the first words he'd spoken since last night, and Neo can't help but feel a little relieved after hearing the boy's voice. I'll have to go to the dojo, though. I don't usually miss training, so Chi-sensei would ask Mom where I am. Sakauchi turns towards his closet, keeping the 15-year-old in his peripheral as he continues to slowly eat through the small portions Neo had handed him. I handled everything with your mom, by the way. Midoriya takes a sluggish sip of miso, as the older boy pulls a plain button-up out and over his shirt. What? No? What? Up and... up, out? As the older boy pulls a plain button-up out and slips it over his t-shirt he's already wearing. I texted her to say that you left early. Midoriya makes a note of confirmation, before he returns to his bowl of rice as the amber-eyed boy finishes buttoning up his shirt. My mom is at a conference for the next week, so you're safe to stay here until you have to leave if you want. Sakauchi shoves his school blazer into his backpack for later, before slinging his bag over his shoulder. You've still got an extra pair of clothes in my closet that you left here the other week, too. But you're free to wear something of mine if you want. Neo looks down at his friend, as the younger boy lets out a quiet breath, setting aside the only half-empty bowl of rice with the finished bowl of miso. He rewraps the hero blanket tightly around his shoulder, like a lifeline. Thanks. The 17-year-old lets out a quiet sigh, setting his backpack down as he approaches the younger boy. He quietly kneels and places a gentle hand on Izuku's shoulder. Midoriya doesn't flinch or shrug it off, so Naol wraps him in an awkward hug. Izuku stills in his arms for only a moment, before he relaxes beneath his friend's embrace. His body convulses with a barely restrained sob, the teen's face twisting into an ugly mask of grief. His teeth are bared, and his brows are pulled almost painfully inward, as more unrestrained tears spill from his already bloodshot eyes. He buries his face into his friend's shoulder blade, wetting his shirt with tears and snot and saliva, as his hands grab at the back of it, balling the fabric between his grab at the back of it, balling the fabric between his fists. Just wanted to save her, he sobs. Maybe Takashi Deo shows up to class 30 minutes late. Maybe he wishes he hadn't had to leave in the first place. After the 17-year-old leaves, Midoriya finds himself alone in the Sakachi household. Neo had switched on the television in the living room, before he had reluctantly left for school, and Izuku can hear the early afternoon cartoons drowning at the edge of his consciousness. He'd curled back into the futon, Sakachi had rolled out for him, staring at the empty space between Neo's somewhat organized work desks. I died, he thinks. He killed me. The thoughts wrap around his mind, coiling around the fleshy organ like a boa had found its prey. With the boy still trying to rebuild what little mental defenses he'd had before his death, his mounted his mind had found itself at its weakest, and, like any other virus, the voice in his head made its ugly existence known. Oh, fuck. And, like... And like any other virus, the voice in his head made its ugly existence known, taking advantages of...
Yo, I'm doing that thing again where I can't read one sentence.
Weakest. And, like any other virus, his voice in his head had made its ugly existence known, taking advantages of...
I'm gonna cry. Why me?
And, like any other virus, the voice in his head made its ugly existence known, taking advantage of his vulnerability. He'd become used to the voice. Had become used to drowning it out or ignoring it. But he's weak right now. Weaker than ever before, and for the first time he can see it. His heart clenches violently in his chest, and Neo's parting words of, "Call me if you need to talk," evaporate beneath the radiant heat of his fear. In the darkness of his mind, it appears even darker. Darker than the scorch marks blasted across his belongings, darker than the void that had formed in his eyes. Its face is the face of many, pasted like paper-thin party masks all worn at once, shifting and sliding to suit its needs. Nothing about it is human, but it holds on to its humanoid form, flaunting it like one would costume jewelry. Tar black blood drips from its grinning maw as it pulls apart. Its voice reverberates through his skull. The dangers of hero work. The dangers of hero work without a quirk. It hisses, sly grin growing. simply too high. The multitude of masks shift. How did you fool yourself into thinking that you could save anyone? And you can't even save yourself. Fun. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm just applying the distort macro. Might take me a second. It sounds so trippy. I like it. I think it's funny. Will I get... Would I get copyright stricken for that? Does anyone know? Do you get copyright stricken for singing tunes? I wonder. I wonder. Midoriya's eyes snap closed as he curls further into himself. He presses his hands tightly against his ears, but it does nothing to drown out the multitude of voices. I do not do the YouTubes. Honestly, same sometimes. I feel like I know nothing about YouTube even though I'm on YouTube. Does that make sense? Like, I've been posting for like 2 years, but I don't know anything about being a YouTuber. I don't really do YouTuber things, I don't think. I sort of just post things, and then I leave. Oh my god, by the way, guys, I think we hit 9K. I think we hit 9K today. Unless I read it wrong. Hold on. Let me check. Let me Google this shit. We did? Hey, we did it! Yeah, we did! That's so cool! Whoa, I'm like a big YouTuber now, y'all. Multitude of voices. I don't know if that counts as big. Multitude of voices. Does that count as big? Let me know. Thing. To drown out the multitude of voices. Thing. To drown out the multitude of voices.
Hooray! We are
Thing.
a big YouTube community. We're really cool, guys. Okay. Where are we? We're only halfway or so, I think. Yeah, only about halfway. And then we will move on to aggressively gay. Dry. Oh my god! Y'all, we're growing! That's so cool. I don't really do anything on YouTube worth giving a shit about. Like, I don't know what I mean. Like, this isn't my life. But it is cool watching the funny little numbers go up. Jiwoo unenthusiastically watches the dead on his feet 15-year-old enter the dojo. He looks closer to a cadaver than a living person, and there's a moment where she wonders if his being here is some work of... He looks closer to a cadaver than a living person. And there's a moment where she wonders if his being here is the work of some sort of necromancy quirk. He greets her tiredly as he slips off his shoes at the door, leaving them in one of the cubbies. Midoriya, you look awful. She expects some excuse about studying late, or not being able to sleep, or some extra snarky comeback that would give the woman some semblance of normalcy. But the only response she gets from him is a breathily exhaled "Hi" that sets her on edge. He makes to brush past her, but the woman quickly steps in front of him,
Midoriya, she says again. Go home. Admittedly, there weren't many times where she'd sent the boy home early, and there were even fewer occasions where she'd sent him home outright. Usually, he'd fight the command, claiming that he was fine, that he was okay, that he just stayed up a little too late or had pushed himself just a little too hard. He blinks up at her, and for once Jiwoo imagines that his eyes look more void than hers. He blinks up at her, and for once Jiwoo imagines that his eyes look more void-like than her own. He murmurs a quiet, "Hi, Sensei," before turning around and slipping his shoes back on. He walks out with another word, and that is perhaps the most disturbing thing she'd seen from him in all their years of having known each other. The other students that have already arrived offer each other wary glances. They are too shocked by the boy's actions. Jiwoo anxiously taps her foot against the floor, before she finally turns away and pulls out her phone, pulling up Midoriya Inko's pulling up Midoriya Inko's contact info. She bypasses her other students, slipping into her office for more privacy as she presses call. The other woman doesn't let the phone ring long, before she's hurriedly answering the call. "Gee, Sensei." The mother sounds worried. "Is everything alright? Is Izuku okay?" Jiwoo sighs at the anxiety in Inko's voice. "He's not injured, Midoriya-san, but he seems very out of it, completely unlike himself. I sent him home. I don't know what's wrong with him, but it'll probably be for the best to keep him out of the dojo until he's feeling better." Y'all, it's too hot. Hold on, I'm taking a break. I need to turn on the AC. I'm gonna die otherwise. Holy crap. Oh, man. Is it like 50 degrees in this country or something? I've got like the blinds closed, everything closed. But our central AC is broken, so I have to use this fan. Y'all, this is hell. This is actual hell. Don't come here. Don't come to this godforsaken country. Oh, jeez. It feels so gross and so sweaty, and I've done nothing all day. Oh, this is hell. Pasta break, that's what I'm calling this. A very quick pasta break. It's so good. I love food. The eating disorder was just a phase. This is my real life. That's pretty cold, isn't it? 42 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not much. Hold on. I'll look up what the degrees is in Australia right now. Hello. $86. That's not that bad, is it? What's that in Celsius? 30. That's nothing. Why am I complaining? $86 is not that bad. Yeah, but for this country, that's nothing. It's gonna get worse, isn't it? Hold on, let me check. Oh no, it's gonna get colder, actually. Yeah, 86 is about normal. I don't know. Maybe because I'm at the top of the house. Heat rises and whatever, so I'm suffering because I'm upstairs. Maybe that's why. It's to keep him out of the dojo until he's feeling better. It's to keep him out of the It's to keep him out of the dojo until he's feeling. Oh man. I might have to do this every now and again, y'all. Otherwise, I feel like I'm gonna burn to a crisp. Or die of dehydration, one of the two. At least I'll already be in bed, you know. Heat's not that bad. I don't know. I'm just going through it today. Humidity's the worst part for sure. I forgot I had my mic up to my face, otherwise I can't record. On the other end of the phone, Inko worries nervously at her lower lip. I haven't seen him today. He left early this morning. I'll be sure to talk to him. Thank you for telling me. Jiwoo pinches at the bridge of her nose. Please take care of him, Midoriya-san. Midoriya Inko comes home to find someone so unlike her starry-eyed son that it scares her. She doesn't know what happened to the son that resided in his chest, but it looks as if he'd taken... She doesn't know what happened to the son that had resided in his chest, but it looks as if it had been taken to be drowned in an ocean, 300 times its size. He's curled up on the couch when she arrives, staring absent-mindedly at the TV that's before him. Sweetie? Inko ventures quietly, gently drawing his attention. Izuku startles at the new voice, throwing himself up. He looks wildly around the room before his eyes land on his mother, and relaxes. Mom, welcome home. Inko sets down her purse as she slowly walks towards the boy, taking his hands in her own. Ji-san said that she sent you home early, Izuku. He nods slowly. Right, she did that. Sweetheart. The woman looks desperately into the boy's eyes. What's going on? The 15-year-old looks at her with blank confusion. I was just watching TV. Izuku. Her grip on his hands tighten. The TV isn't even on. Damn, what a plot twist. That's insane. And that's very like detective show. Psychological thriller plot twist. It has that vibe. Yo, I can't do it. It's too hot. Oh my god. Hold on, I'm gonna close my door so I can actually flood this room with cold air and hopefully live. Give me a second. Move my desk, my whole ass desk. Oh my god, no! I turn on the heater. Yo. Oh my god. No. Not in this household. No heaters in this household. Oh man. I'm gonna literally die here. I'm gonna be fried like an omelet. This is my life now. I'm melting. Is this story? No. I definitely can't do that. That will definitely get copyright stricken. Oh man, it's so hard being a singer. I just yap. And then I get copyright stricken just for yapping. It's like, damn. Let me yap. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm living. Should I do actual recording not in bed for once? Should I actually get up out of bed? That's crazy. Okay. What's bro yapping about? I'm yapping about anything and everything. That's me. That's me yapping. You know me. Me and my yapping. I want to check the humidity because everyone's checking their humidity and then I got jealous because I want to check my humidity. Hold on. What's the Sydney weather look like today? 54? That's not that bad. It's not that bad. Hold on. Quick snack. Quick pasta snack. Yeah. Load up this fork. No! There's some on my keyboard! That's so gross. I've become a Discord addict. Okay, I don't just exercise my mouth, okay? I go to the gym, you know. I swear I do. I'm like, not super active, but I'm somewhat. TV isn't... I'm like slightly active, you know? Like 2 out of 10. Okay, let's go. I'm ready. This is intense recording. I know what you're thinking. That can't be an extreme sport. It is when I do it. It is when I do it. It's crazy. People are dying. Well, maybe not dying, but you know. When I record, people die. Actually, canon. That's just a fact about my recording. I'm so intense when I record, people die. The minute I turn off the AC, I regret it. This is hell. Not the cat model. No, I was trying to get the other one. That one. Yeah! Okay. The TV isn't even on. People die every second. That's because I'm recording, Mineral. It's just because I'm recording that people are dying. Nail comes home to an apartment devoid of people. He'd been expecting it, but he still feels his chest clench just the slightest. Takauchi slips his shoes off at the door as he lets out a tired sigh. I'm home. Part of him wishes that Midoriya would have been here when he came back, if only so he could make sure his friend was doing okay. The 17-year-old falls into bed, staring at the ceiling. He was emotionally exhausted from the last 24 hours, barely able to pull himself through all of his classes. Tsukauchi rolls over, facing his work table. He makes to close his eyes, just to take a nap before he gets around to finishing one of his projects for school, but his gaze catches on something alarming. Dale slowly pushes himself back up, eyes locked onto the dark burgundy of the foreign object that has invaded the empty space of his work desks. The boy stands, worryingly approaching it. He flicks on his desk lamp, studying the object. Piper's belt. All the smoke bombs and eskrima sticks. Smoke bombs? Am I reading the same sentence? His belt. All of the smoke grenades and escrima sticks still attached. Did he forget it? Maybe something broke. Leo looks around the desk for a note that might explain its sudden appearance, but finds nothing. Did he leave it here for later? But the belt resting on the corner of the desk, and the pipe sitting on the fire escape, and the boots in the back of the closet, and the clothes wadded beneath the bed, all of it. Every last piece of Midoriya's vigilante gear stays there overnight, with no sign of their owner. And they wait there the next night as well. And the next. And the next. Until the 17-year-old is forced to rehome Piper's infamous. And the next. And the next. Until the there we go. Until the 17-year-old is forced to rehome Piper's infamous staff piece. Until the 17-year-old is forced to rehome Piper's infamous staff, not scarf. Until the 17 Until the 17-year-old is forced to rehome Piper's infamous staff, somewhere inside because of the threat of rain. And the clothes under his bed are hidden inside a box of spare parts. And the belt and its gear in a case of unfinished projects. No, I'm gonna read that. Of spare parts. And the belt and its gear in a case of unfinished projects. The sun rises and sets, and every new cycle becomes another day without the vigilante Pied Piper.
This chapter is so dark. It's so sad. Okay. Last scene, and then I'm gonna turn on the AC for a little bit longer so I can live. Namasa's chair creaks as he leans back in his seat, worry scoring deep lines into the man's face. So there haven't been any reports or sightings of Piper recently? Sansa shakes his head, the bell at his throat jingling quietly. Not within the last several days. He's gone completely IA. The detective stares up nervously at the ceiling, chewing on his lower lip. It's not the first time that he's taken a break, but 5 days definitely takes the record. It's usually only over... It's usually only ever a day or two, max, that he disappears for. Takashi pulls his head up again, staring at the spread of reports and files beginning to clutter his desk. I worry that he's gotten seriously injured this time. The man pulls a hand through his hair, pulling at it gently in an effort to alleviate the headache he can feel coming on. You know that he has to contact with some... I'm actually on a murder spree. It's so true. Headache he can feel coming on. Oh man, I'm melting. I'm melting. I'm back. I'm gonna turn on the AC. I genuinely think I'm gonna die otherwise. Oh man. It's so hot, man. Who decided this was the weather? Who made this decision? This isn't fair, man. I can't live like this. It's like so hot that it's hard to breathe. It's like super stuffy. I don't know how to explain it. get much higher. I stop singing songs.
The headache he can feel coming on.
Oh, it's so hot. I hate this country sometimes.
Oh, just keep going. To alleviate the headache he can feel coming on. We know that he has contact with some sort of medic, so checking hospitals would be a useless endeavor. What about the last time he was seen? Do we have a report on it? He could already be dead. The man shakes his head, burying the thought. Now's not the time to be thinking like that. Sansa lets out a defeated sigh. It's nothing that would help us, I'm afraid. The last report we have is on some low-level drug dealer. Malmasa pinches at the bridge of his nose, all at once exhausted and drained, and ready to sleep for the next 12 hours. Where did you go? And then suddenly, the detective freezes. Memories rising to answer his silent question. His tiredness burning away like the early morning fog. The girl. Tamakawa looks up in confusion, golden eyes searching Sukaji's face for answers. The girl? Of course it's the girl. Nope, hate that. Of course it's the girl. No more Samamas. Completely all... Completely ignoring the other officer in his fervor as he scrambles to pick up his phone. He quickly scrolls through his contact list before finally landing on the one he needs.
Oh man. Guys, this is the darkest timeline. It is so stinking hot. Oh my lord. This is not fair. Hold on. Hold on. Move my desk back. This is so unfair, man.
List. Before finally landing on the one he needs. List. He taps his foot impatiently as the phone rings before someone finally picks up. This is the Night Eye Agency. How may I help you? Nalmasa recognizes the voice. Bubble Girl. Nope. Bubble Girl. I need to talk to Sir Night Eye immediately. Detective Sakachi? I'll patch you through. Please give me a moment. It's only a few more seconds before Sir... Fuck. It's only a few more seconds before Sir's voice bleeds through the speaker, and Omasa starts speaking before the hero even has time to finish his greeting. I need to know if that Yakuza group you've been watching has done anything as of late. On the other end of the phone, Night Eye releases a tired sigh. Not to my knowledge. We've managed to track them back down to 2 more locations since your first call, and Centipede believes he is getting closer to discovering the location of the main base. The hero readjusts his glasses, pushing them further up his nose. They have a few small side bases scattered around, or of the ones we found, none have shown any extraordinary suspicious activity as of late. Nalmasa breathes a curse through his teeth, standing to pace the area near his desk. Tamakawa's eyes shift to follow his motion. Piper. The one that tipped us off to the great... Piper. Piper. The one that tipped us off to the 8 Precepts' involvement with that white-haired girl seems to have gone missing over the last few days. And you're worried? Night Eye asks. The detective makes a noise of agreement. He's just a kid himself. No older than your intern. The hero turns in his seat, studying the poster on the wall behind him. That is troublesome, then. This group is proving themselves to be a powerful one. If he has managed to get himself labeled as a potential threat, then there's a strong possibility... That is troublesome. I'm gonna try that again. That is troublesome, then. This group is proving themselves to be a powerful one. If he managed to get himself labeled as a potential threat, then there is a strong possibility that they would act against him given the chance. Lamasa sends a hand up to John. Lamasa sends a hand up to tug gently at his hair, wrapping his fingers around the dark strands in a useless attempt to relieve his worry. Allah sent to Peter and Bubble Girl around him. Nope, wrong voice. Allah sent to Peter and Bubble Girl about him. See if they might have seen or heard anything while doing their reconnaissance. I'll do what I can to find out any information. But try not to hope too strongly for anything, Detective.
Done!
I would record an ending segment for today, but I'm gonna do it later when I'm not dying in this heat. Because I think that's pretty fair. Chapter 17. Complete. Wonderful. Wonderful. This is what we're doing next. It's gonna be really fun, y'all. I'm really excited to do this fic. I really like this fic. And while I'm here, I might as well change the banner and turn on the AC so I can live. Oh my god. So this is a particularly long one, so we might be here for a while, guys. But it'll be great. I think I hit the heater. I keep accidentally hitting the heater button. I'm gonna kill myself via heat wave if I keep doing this. Okay. Now, reading. Da 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 da. Copy paste. Copy paste. Me doing the banner because I'm a cool hip down with the kids creator and I understand what my viewers want. There we go. We got a banner. That makes sense. Okay. I can breathe. We'll see how we go today. I might not do... I might only record one more fan fiction today just because it's so hot and I'm gonna have to keep taking breaks and it's sort of killing the vibes. The vibes, you know? Anyway, I've got to go to the bathroom right now, so I'll be back in about 5 minutes and then we shall read and it'll be great. So, wait for me. I'll be right back. I'm back! I went to the bathroom. How you been? That was a really sexy entrance, don't you think? Coming with ran to the bathroom. Hi, stupids. Oh, entering bin. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, I had to pee. It was necessary, unfortunately. As much as I feel like me peeing would contribute to ASMR, it would also be very awkward. So, I think a necessary sacrifice. I think everyone will agree. Haha! Change form. No, wrong one. I'm trying to find the tiny little spirit boys. Where are they? I miss them. There we go! Peeing is unfortunately necessary. I have tried not peeing, and man, do UTIs fucking hurt. So, we're not doing that again. That's what I'm saying. Peeing is unfortunately necessary. Also, y'all, I've been recording since 9 a.m. Y'all, this has been a very, what's the word? I can't remember the word. A very productive. That's the very productive day. Just don't drink water. Yo, I live in Australia. If I did not drink water, I would not be alive right now. I'd be dead. Straight dead. If I wasn't drinking water, I'd be in a hospital room with an IV in my fucking arm. I'd be dead. You cannot, like, not drink water in this weather. That's like asking to die. It's like white people going out without sunscreen. Like, you're just asking for skin cancer. Like, it's... Man, wow, what a way to die. Anyway, what was I saying? Ah, yes. Incredibly gay Harry Potter fanfiction. We in the club. Alright. The plan is, we read this one. And then... If I feel alive, and let's be honest, I probably won't, but if I feel up to it, and I hope I do because it's a really good fic, I shall read the next one. And it's very angsty, so y'all can't get on my ass for only ever reading crack, because I do read serious things sometimes, guys. I'm a really cool, serious person. I'm like actually really mature, and I'm actually like an adult. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like a full adult. Just a little unknown fact about me. I am like fully responsible for all my actions. That's fucking terrifying. I don't want to be an adult. Anyway, point being, let's go. It's gonna be great. Beards, booty shorts, and binaries. By Abigail. Read by Mika. Harry knew something was afoot when he looked across the Aura office and saw Draco and Hermione. Heads touching as they leaned together over a parchment. Their eyes blazing and their lips a blur of frenzied speech. He knew whatever it was going to be a fucking nightmare. When Draco slammed his fist on the table and then Hermione knocked table and then Hermione nodded vigorously, throwing her hands in the air. Harry nudged Ron. What the fuck are they doing? Ron looked up from his paperwork, eyes scanning the room before landing on Draco and Hermione. Bloody hell. He leaned back in his chair. She looks like she's planning to relaunch Spew. Hermione extracted a hair tie from her pocket and pulled back her hair, a sure sign that she meant business. Should we go over there? See ya, Mineral. I'm gonna redo this line. Should we go over there? Ron asked, turning to Harry with wide blue eyes. you insane? Harry peered at them wearily. They're going to try rope us into helping with... He waved a hand. Whatever they're doing. Hermione and Draco had been paired as Aura... Ugh. Hermione and Draco had been paired as aura partners directly out of training. Neither of them had been particularly happy about it at first, but Harry begrudgingly had to hand it to Roberts. They were the perfect partnership. Harry could never be paired with either of them. They were both much too high energy. Hermione took extreme risks and would not listen to reason. Harry and Ron often reminisced about the time they tried to talk her out of making polyjuice, and she didn't listen and ended up as half feline. And Draco was a ball of nervous energy, getting caught up on the small details of cases that were completely Hi, Journey. Man, I'm really struggling with this pronunciation. Getting caught up on the small details of cases that were completely irrelevant. Most of the time. Sometimes his obsessions solved cases. Nope, I'm gonna redo that. Most of the time. Sometimes his obsessions solved cases. And refusing to do the work as assigned. Together, they worked each other into frenzies, falling asleep at their desks and reading aloud from obscure Latin grimoires in the Ministry Library. They were a bit of a nightmare. Ron grabbed a package of Bertie's bots and poured himself a handful, tilting back in his chair to consider his girlfriend. What would be more annoying for us in the long run? Going over there now and trying to talk them down, or having to deal with it when... Where am I? Having to deal with it after they go whole hog without our outfit. Well, no. Or having to deal with it after they go whole hog without our input. Or having to deal with it after... I'm gonna redo that whole line, actually. Going over there now and trying to talk them down. Or having to deal with it after they go whole hog without our input. Hermione pulled out an editing quill and stabbed the parchment with aggressive red ink while her... While Draco jabbed his finger at different parts of the test. No! I'm gonna redo the whole thing! And stabbed the... Hermione... I'm trying not to laugh because it's funny, I know it's coming. Hermione pulled out an editing quill and stabbed the parchment with aggressive red ink, while Draco jabbed his finger at different parts of the text, egging her on. You think it's the commas again? Harry asked, recalling the Oxford commapocalypse of 2006. Ron groaned. Harry, I'm sorry. I have to intervene. Ron and Harry were well-matched aura partners too. The difference was, they spent most of their time trying to avoid extra work, and a small percentage of their time jumping into dangerous situations to stop bad guys. You couldn't pay Harry or Ron to care about punctuation. And, in fact, Roberts had tried. He'd claimed it was part of their job, that their reports needed to fall... You know what happens? I read Drarry and everyone's like, Drarry? That their reports needed to fall... Job. That their reports needed to follow the Ministry-style guide. Whatever that was. Hermione and Draco, in contrast, had petitioned to change the Ministry-style guide. Something about Oxford commas. Harry wasn't exactly sure, as he'd never so much as cracked the MSG open, much less read any of it. Ron stood, his desk chair rolling backwards on its magical casters. Oi, me. No, that was off. Oi, me. Hermione turned, her hair staticking to Draco's, where their heads had been pressed together conspiratorially. What are you doing? Nope. What are you doing? Ron asked, approaching their desk. Harry decided he'd better follow, even though he really did not want to know what they were doing. The looks on their faces were too similar to the time they'd made him join a charity date auction. Jerry is a lifestyle, honestly. My? Really? I thought it might be Hermione. Like me? Me? Oh, you're probably right. I don't want to change it though, because I'm really lazy. Date auction. My? Oh, I get it, like the middle. Even though he really did not want to know what they were doing. He better follow. Harry decided, where am I up to? Oh, I'm too far ahead now. Approaching their desk. What are you doing? Ron asked. Where am I? Oh, that's so far ahead. I'm giving up. Y'all, I meant the other one. I don't care anymore. Where is it? His desk chair rolling backward. Something about Oxford commas. Harry, their reports needed to follow the ministry. Hermione and Draco, in contrast. Oh, me. Oh, there we are. Okay, hold on. Just me going through all the... Okay. Oi, my. Like that? Ma, ni. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going with that. This is not enough space. Hold on. I'm gonna insert it into the original recording. Bear with me, y'all. Oh no! Y'all, I just got very quick tea on Twitter. The VTuber conspiracy involving Niji Sanji. I gotta go read that later. What the hell is going on over there? Being a company VTuber sounds hard. The looks on their faces were too similar to the time they'd made him join a charity date auction. Y'all never join a VTuber company. Please, never do that to yourself. Ron! She cried, jumping to her feet. Harry, thank goodness. We need all the help we can get. Harry had been afraid of that. They were going to make him wear a badge. He was certain of it. With... Ron asked, his face visibly bracing for the hit. Oh shit, I accidentally paused in the middle. Ron asked. Ah! No, wait. Okay. His face visibly bracing for the hit. With this retrograde... Oh, fuck. With this retrograde tripe? Retrograde tripe? This is not a sentence. With this retrograde tripe the ministry is passing off as a dress code. Draco spat. It's one thing if it's an old policy, but this is brand new. Can you believe it? We tried not to sign it, Hermione said, but Robert said we had no choice. All ministry employees need to accept the new code of conduct. But we cannot let this stand. No. But we cannot let this stand, Draco continued, stabbing his finger into the parchment. Look at this. Men must be clean-shaven. You are clean-shaven, Harry pointed out. But Draco waved his comment away like he would... Wait, okay. Harry pointed out. But Draco waved his comment away like he would a gnat. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Can you even grow a beard? Ron asked. Irrelevant. I should be able to have one. Would a beard interfere with my... Beer. A beard probably would. Interfere... A beard probably would. Able to have one. A beard? Not so much. Would a beard interfere with my ability to perform my duties? Harry took a moment to consider the prospect of Draco with a beard, but it was so preposterous that it tested the bounds of his imagination. "And look here," Hermione continued. "Women may wear skirts or slacks, but may not show their knees." Harry and Ron glanced at each other, uncertain. It somehow seemed like anything they could say would be the wrong thing. Hermione cocked her hips and braced her fist on it. "Women may not show their knees. Honestly, what about men? What about men's knees, I ask you?" As the conversation went on, more and more heads turned in their direction. "Employees are expected to maintain a professional appearance," Hermione read on. "For women, this means subtle makeup, styled hair, and modest jewelry. No rings except for wedding rings. For women, this means subtle makeup, styled hair, and modest jewelry. No rings except for wedding rings, one set of sedate earrings. For men, this means clean-shaven faces and cropped professional hair. For all employees, only natural hair colors are permitted." "Can you believe," Draco hissed, "they are trying to encode the gender binary? This is homophobic, transphobic, racist, sexist." Hermione stood next to him, nodding enthusiastically. "I do not abide makeup," she said with a scowl. "Unless I'm going out and putting on glitter, because that's fun. But how dare they tell me I have to wear it so that I can look like their idea of what it means to be a glitter, because that's fun. But how dare they tell me what I have to wear so that I can look like... It is hard! One more time. But how dare they tell me what I have to wear so that I can... One more time. But how dare they tell me what I have to wear so that I can look like their idea of what it means to be a woman?" Someone in the office started snapping, but when Harry spun his head to see who, they'd stopped. "Yeah, this is a shit policy," Harry agreed. And it was. "You're damn right it is, Harry," Hermione said, her face flushed with anger. "Let's you and me take our trousers off and have an office vote on whose knees are more distracting, because I bet it's yours." Harry's eyes widened. This was worse than a badge. Ron threw his hands up placatingly. Ron threw his hands up placating. I'm gonna go placating. Ron threw his hands up placatingly. Alright, one more. Okay. Let's think about this strategically. 3 years ago, Ron would have said, "Calm down." He's learned that lesson. If he'd said, "Calm down," Hermione would have ratcheted up. She would have dropped through right there. Instead, at the mention of strategy, she turned to him with eagerness. "Okay, so probably the Ministry just wants to make sure that people dress professionally," Harry said. "Because you saw those dolts over in Magic Games and Sports with their little running shorts or whatever." Hermione's finger flew into the air. "Don't you dare try to make excuses for them, Harry Potter." Fuck. If that's what this was about... I've got hiccups. No! Fuck. Oh, I've got hiccups. Ow. Hold on. I'm in pain. I'm in physical pain. Ow! Ow. Ow! Why? Why? I never asked for any of this. How could you do this to me? Ow! Ow. Ow! Quick moment of me wallowing in self-pity. My bad. Why? Ow! No! This is hell. Ow. is... No, I can't sing Bohemian Rhapsody when I'm in pain anymore. Ow! This is the darkest timeline. Why does my model look like it's smiling? I'm in pain. Ow! No! No! Please stop. Ow! Mother, please save me. Ow! Ow! This is not funny. This is not funny. Ow! Yo, this is not funny. This hurts. Why? Why? Ow! Oh. Ow! It's time for me to pass away. I'm just gonna die here. Don't wake me up. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. Ow. 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 I mean, I was really calling for my actual mother, but I'm okay if you want to take of my mother. Ow. 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 It didn't work and it hurt more. Ow. 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 Oh. I mean, you know what, while I'm doing this, I might as well turn on the AC so I can cool down a bit. When the remote go. Yo. I never asked for any of this. Maybe if I just stop breathing. Ale? I think it worked. Huh? I think it worked. Did I get rid of my hiccups? Whoa! Who would have thought dying would fix hiccups? Y'all. I'm so smart. Straight CO2 is good for getting rid of hiccups. Next time I just have someone breathe into my mouth. That's sort of gross, actually. Let's not do that. That's sort of weird. There. Oh, it's so hot. Okay. I'm back to recording. dare try to make excuses for them, Harry Potter. Fuck. You dare. Okay. Give me a minute, y'all. I'm in recovery. Ugh. Okay. Okay. I'm back. Up I get. Let's go. If that's what this was about, why did they go out of the way to make... Nope. If that's what this was about, why did they go out of their way to make this a gendered policy? Why didn't they just say, no running shorts, huh? She had a point. She usually did. I am well aware that the ministry... Nope. I'm well aware that the ministry, and society as a whole, are scared of peer... Oh, fuck. I'm well aware that the ministry, and society as a whole, are scared of queer people with non-normative gender presentation. Draco intoned. Merlin knows my parents did everything they could to brainwash me into that front during my repressed childhood. But it is a con. A con, I tell you. What is? Ron asked. Gender, Draco said. Gender is a con. Harry's eyes flitted to the clock. He wanted to get out of here. Draco, we agree. People should be able to wear whatever they want. I'm just not sure what you propose doing about it. And it seems worth pointing out, Ron added, that everyone here seems to be complying with the dress code. Is it really that bad if we're already meeting it? Draco looked down at his clothes, horrified. Cersei's arse, he's right. Wrong, Hermione declared. I'm not wearing makeup, and my hair isn't professionally styled. Whatever the fuck that means. It probably just means it needs to look like a white woman's hair. I am wearing colourful socks. I am wearing colourful socks, Draco said triumphantly. I'm pretty sure that was disallowed somewhere in there. Well, no one's going to actually call you out on those things, Harry said. They just put it in the policy for some reason. Draco and Hermione turned towards each other, sharing an unamused look. Hermione turned back to Harry. For some reason. Yes, a total mystery. You know what, though? Draco mused, dramatically tapping the corner of his mouth with one pointy finger. Potter just figured out the solution. The way we fight this. Draco seemed to enjoy the moment, as everyone's eyes settled on him, waiting for him to continue. The Ministry hasn't called anyone up on our dress code infraction in recent history, he said. So we tested. We flaunt their code. We see how much we can get away with before they issue a formal infraction. And we will make our stance known, so that they need to choose whether to stuff a... And we will make our stance known, so that they need to choose whether to suffer the bad publicity of censoring their war heroes for gender crimes, or will they heroes for gender crimes, or if they will concede that the dress code is oppressive and write a new one. Hermione's eyes sparkled. She did love a protest campaign. Brilliant! Brilliant, Draco, yes, and what's better, we don't even have to break the dress code. Not at first, at least. What do you mean? Harry asked. What do you mean censoring their war heroes? Ron asked. You don't mean Harry and me, do you? But Hermione and Draco were already sat back down, heads together, plotting. Harry woke the next morning surprised that he hadn't had a flu call from Hermione, or an owl delivery of some kind of gender-bending outfit to wear to work. He tried not to think about Hermione and Draco's new mission, but the truth was that Harry had more than a small crush on Draco, and it was hardest to ignore when Draco and Hermione were excited about something. Draco had changed, and he'd changed a lot. Harry could sometimes forget that, when Draco was standing around in expensive clothes Harry could sometimes forget that. Harry could sometimes forget that, when Draco was standing around in expensive clothes being a snarky arsehole. It was an easy role to slide into, acting like they hated each other, throwing around insults. But in truth, the insults had lost all their ire years ago. Now it was just the way Draco and Harry interacted, an easy sort of aggressive camaraderie. But when Draco was leaning forward on his desk, elbows planted, chin in his hands, hanging on Hermione's every word, Harry couldn't forget that he'd changed. This Draco was best friends with Hermione, and didn't act like Lucius Malfoy and didn't care about blood status. This Draco learned how to magically screen print t-shirts to support their campaign to decriminalize ritual elfish gambling on the grounds of wizard colonialism. Words are hard. Harry couldn't forget that he'd changed. Try it from there. This Draco was best friends with Hermione, and didn't act like Lucius Malfoy, and didn't care about blood status. This Draco learned how to magically screen print t-shirts to support their campaign to decriminalize ritual elfish gambling on the grounds of wizard colonialism. During Draco and Hermione's last campaign, Harry had had a dream where Draco was in his bed, telling Harry they needed to have sex to stop global oppression. But Harry's secret thought that Harry's secret thought that activist outrage was a good look on Draco did not mean that Harry actually wanted to help them. There was so much in the world to be angry about, and Harry was tired of being angry. He really just wanted to do his job. He really just wanted to fuck around with Ron. He didn't want to make waves over a dress code that was admittedly discriminatory, but that wasn't actually being used to harm anyone. Sadly, he also knew that Hermione and Draco would convince him, if they put their mind to it, and before he knew it, he'd be wearing stilettos to work. So as he made his way to the office, he was grateful to be wearing his own boring clothes. His prana trousers that cost too much but looked equally at home at work or on a hike. No matter what anyone said, Harry knew Muggles made the best trousers. His battered His battered Converse that he'd bought in black as a slight nod to workplace norms. His wrinkle-watered blue shirt. He made his way through the flue, up the lifts and into the Auror offices, before his day went south. Hermione was standing there with a full beard. Harry said. "Good morning, Harry," she replied, flipping through the stacks of parchment in her hands. Harry stared for a moment, assuming she would address the woolly mammoth in the room. She didn't. "You've, Harry ventured. Got quite the whiskers, sorry. Got quite the whiskers." Hermione hugged the folders tight to her chest and looked at him. Her beard was fluffy, black, curly. Hands down, The most bizarre thing Harry had ever seen on her. And Harry had once seen her wear his face. Yes, she said primly. It meets the dress code. Anyway, I was wondering if you made any progress... primly. It meets the dress code. Anyway, I was wondering if you made any progress on the Pidgey. I need it for the remembrant. I need it for the remembrant. I need it for the remembrant. I need it for the remembrant case. Man, they keep making up more words. Imprimatur. Enumeration. Imprimatur. The potion's imprimatur grants and injunctions enumeration, Pidgey, was a piece of busy work that had been assigned to Harry and Ron. They were supposed to update the list of registered potioneers and keep track of any questionable activity. Hermione, Harry said. Why, how do you have a beard? Potter. No.
I did it. I got it right.
Potter. No. Potter. Draco's Potter. No. Potter. Draco's voice called from behind him. We were looking for you. Where's the Pidgey? Draco tore his eyes away from Hermione's facial hair, thinking he would deal with Draco and Pidgey first. Hermione's new look second, only to be assaulted by the image of Draco in a skirt. He was wearing one of his usual shirts and ties on the top, neatly tucked into a purple miniskirt that Harry vaguely remembered seeing on Hermione that one time they went dancing at the Mirage. His legs were bare and covered with blonde hair, and Harry couldn't decide what would be more unusual. If Draco had shaved and done pantyhose, or if he'd left them in their natural state. Because Harry was really not prepared to look at Draco's bare legs. His thighs, knees, and calves on display. On his feet were a pair of loafers, which Harry noted really did not go with the skirt.
I did it right. Rembrandt. I did it. What's the difference?
Did not go with the skirt.
What's the difference between Rembrandt and remembrant? What's the difference? No difference. Same word.
He did not go with the skirt.
Same word. No issues here. We move on. Anyway, it's such a minor detail. No one will care. Ha ha ha. Right? No one will care. Ha ha. Haha, please don't make me pronounce it again. I really don't want to. It's really bad. I don't like it.
Harry met Draco's eyes. You're wearing a skirt. Hermione's skirt. Yes, well, it's within the dress code, he said, smoothing material down with one elegant hand. And I do think I look rather dashing in it. If only it had pockets, it might be my new favorite. The dress code said no visible knees, Harry croaked out, staring at Draco's knees. I specifically remember something about knees. Interesting that you brought that up, Harry. Hermione crossed her arms. The code's exact stipulation is that women wear skirts or slacks but not show their knees. The code's exact stipulation is that women may wear skirts or slacks but may not show their knees. So this skirt would be addressed in So this skirt is a dress code infraction on me, and likely on any not cis person, but not on Draco here. Because he is, for all the Ministry's intents and purposes, a man. I certainly am, Draco drawled. Much as people like to limit masculinity to a narrow, toxic box, and to throw insults at gay men, they cannot with any on-principle claim that I... Not with any principle claim that I... Much as people like to limit masculinity to a narrow, toxic box and throw insults at gay men, they cannot without any principle claim that I am not a man. And the code is very clear that women cannot show their knees. Claim that I am not a man. And the code is very clear that women cannot show their knees. Are you wearing pants? Harry asked, his face screwed up in confusion. Draco raised a quelling eyebrow. You do realize this is definitely sexual harassment. He turned to Hermione. Is this what it's like, all the time? Yes, she responded gravely. Good grief, I should have worn a skirt years ago. The patriarchy would have been immediately clear, and I wouldn't have to do all that reading about feminism and magic what the fuck is that word? Years ago. The patriarchy... Misogyny? That's horrible. The patriarchy would have been immediately clear, and I wouldn't have had to deal with all that reading about feminism and misogyny. Hermione nodded, as if in full agreement that all the men's problems might be solved if every man were to experience misogyny and sexual harassment. And I am wearing pants, Potter, though I had to search for a pair of briefs in the back of the drawer. Sorry, just read ahead to Ron's reaction. Harry really wished Ron were here. This was too much to deal with on his own. Now Harry was wondering what type of underwear Draco usually wore. Boxers? It seemed that the skirt was short enough to preclude that. This is so stupid. Cesario? I think. Cesario! Roberts called, storming into the room and past them with his usual drama. Where's the... He cut himself short, turned slowly on his heel and stared. Sorry, I'm gonna laugh. Hold on. On his heel and stared. There was a long moment of silence. What the fuck are you two wearing? Hermione stood taller, pushing her shoulders back. We're simply... hard. We're simply adhering to the new dress code, sir. Hermione... Sorry. I can't keep reading ahead like this. Draco threw an arm around Hermione's shoulder and rubbed her beard with a brotherly... Hermione threw an arm around Hermione's shoulder. No. Draco threw an arm around Hermione's shoulder and rubbed her beard with a brotherly fist. Indeed we are. Is there a problem? You... Robert's face turned increasingly pink. Is this your newest No. One more time. Is this your newest pet project? Something about the dress code? You do realize that I had nothing to do with the dress code, and you were putting me in an impossible position. Sir, Hermione said, and Harry couldn't stop looking at the way her lips were surrounded by facial hair. We are merely following the dress code as written, not trying to make your life difficult. At this exact moment, Ron Weasley walked in, levitating 4 coffees, wearing makeup. Not a little bit of makeup either. Bright orange-red lipstick and, if Harry was right, false eyelashes. And that thing they did with dark eyeshadow. Fog eye? That traitor. Harry would be wearing a badge by day's end. That's it! Roberts shouted. Granger, Malfoy, Weasley, Potter, my office, now! But sir... Harry could not believe this. I didn't do anything. As four incredulous faces turned to Harry. Hermione's was of disappointment at the time she realized Lockhart didn't know the difference between a mudlark and a bumbleflap. Draco's face dripped with disdain, as if Harry had finally confirmed Draco's decades-old suspicion that he was a simpleton. I'm sure you did, even if you didn't realize it yet, Robert said, then snapped his fingers. Now! Hermione and Draco each picked up a folder, no doubt filled with research Hermione and Draco each picked up a folder, no doubt filled with research and notes prepared for this very meeting, and marched promptly to Robert's office. Harry elbowed Ron. What the fuck? We said we were gonna stay out of this. We can support their schemes without being part of them. I just want one quiet week. I can't believe you tried to throw us under the night bus like that, Hazard. Not cool. A sheepish look fell over Ron's made-up face. Made-up? A sheepish... Wait, hold on. Go back. A sheepish look fell over Ron's made-up face. And don't give me crap. You know how persuasive Hermione can be. Oh, sweet Merlin. Harry clamped his hands over his ears, but then pressed on. Did she negotiate using orgasms? Ron grinned apologetically. No. We never negotiate for sex, that'd be wrong. But I figured she'd be grateful if I volunteered, so... Harry rolled his eyes, letting his hands drop. What the fuck happened to your freckles? Ron wrinkled a freckleless nose. Contouring. Contouring. Roberts flicked his wand at the door behind them, and crossed his arms over his chest. Explain. Hermione laid her folder on the desk and flipped it open. The dress code does not prohibit anything we're wearing. As you can see, she pointed a finger at 3 different highlighted sections. Because the code sets Because the code sets different standards for men and women. Women are not required to be different standards for men and women. Women are not required to... Women are not required to be clean-shaven. Men are not required to wear subtle makeup or cover their knees. Roberts rubbed a hand over his face. What about Potter's grubby trainers? Hermione and Draco turned to Harry, their eyes flicking to his Converse. I've worn these every day for the past 2 years. Harry looked down at his trainers in disbelief. I haven't... But that's the exact reason we made you sign the new Code of Conduct. Robert's face was weary with resignation. So that every... So that every department could be sure that all employees are on the same page. Draco hid a delighted grin behind his hand, and crossed one bare leg over the other. So then you agree, sir, that Harry is the only one here who does not comply with the dress code? Don't get paid enough for this, Roberts muttered. Then looked up and clamped his hands. Right. Potter, as per the code of conduct... Fuck. Right. Right. Potter, as per the code of conduct, you will need to go home and not return until you're wearing proper footwear. Your pay will be docked. The rest of you... His eyes traveled warily over the other three. As you haven't officially broken any rules, consider this a warning. I will see you following the spirit of the code from now on. And you can register your complaints with the dress code through the proper channels. Because this display is seriously distracting to the other auras in the department. Excuse me, Draco drawled, a dangerous edge to his tone. Are you suggesting that you would have to blame someone for having an appearance that others find distracting? Because that seems sexist, homophobic, and transphobic, and is probably a bunch of other phobics too. Aura Malfoy. Robert stood. For 5 years you have come to work wearing appropriate clothing. The day after the Ministry instituted a new dress code, you show up wearing clothes that, it is clear, were chosen purposefully to be noticeably... Ah, fuck. The day of... Nope. Delete this. The day after the Ministry instituted a new dress code, you show up wearing clothes that, it is clear, were chosen purposefully to be noticeably inappropriate. Do not even try to suggest that this is an important part of your Do not even try to suggest that this is an important part of your gender presentation because the timing is too suspect. Do not even try to suggest that I am being discriminatory. Now get out, and Potter, you need to go straight home. You have 5 minutes before the security's automatic... You need to go straight home. You have 5 minutes before the Ministry's automatic security can't... Oh, fuck. You have 5 minutes before the Ministry's automatic security charms kick in. They filed out, Hermione's beard leading the way. Harry walked behind Draco and did his level best not to look at Draco's bare legs. I fucking hate you all, Harry hissed, as he picked up his bag and headed for the flue. Phase 1 is complete, Hermione said, as she slid into a booth at the pub and took a long sip of lager. There are phases? Ron asked, rubbing self-consciously at his eyes, which still looked a bit smoky, even though he'd spelled off the makeup. Draco, unfortunately, was still wearing the skirt. When Harry had suggested he'd change before the pub, Draco had fixed him with a challenging look, and said, I'm quite comfortable, Harry. Thanks ever so for your concern. Well, we've made it clear that their code doesn't achieve their own discriminatory goals. She wrapped her hands around the glass. We've made it clear that their tiny minds are so entrenched in the gender binary, Draco drawled, that they are blind to the ways they fail to encode it. Harry, what are they talking about? Ron looked exhausted. I cannot fucking believe you lot got me sent home for wearing a pair of trainers I've worn to work every day for years. Harry leaned forward on his arms, and the pub table stuck unpleasantly to his skin. Hermione waved a hand. Well, now you're committed to the cause. So tomorrow. Draco spread his hands. Publicity. It seems like the next logical step. Hermione nodded. Quite. Should we call Luna, or do we need to deal with the slug brains at the Prophet? Harry closed his eyes. They wanted to get this in the papers. They wanted their beards and legs and makeup on the front page of the Prophet, blinking up at magical people from breakfast tables all over England. Harry thought they were bonkers. admirably bonkers, but bonkers all the same. He could admire their commitment, but also, there's no way I'm wearing a skirt in the Prophet. Hermione's face crumpled into a deep, disapproving frown. And what's wrong with skirts, Harry? Do you think it will make you look weak? No! Harry threw a hand up. I think that the public is already fucking obsessed with me, and if they have I think that the public is already fucking obsessed with me. And that if they have a clipping of me in a skirt, they're gonna wank over it and then send me really one more time. I think that the public is already fucking obsessed with me. And if they have a clipping of me in a skirt, they're going to wank over it and then send me really creepy messages about it. Are you really so vain as to all that? Draco asked. His nose Draco asked, his nose wrinkling in distaste. You'd finally convinced me that you didn't have a big head, that all my schoolboy taunts had been misguided, and yet here you are, assuming that you're a wank fodder. Ron pushed Draco out of the way. Don't listen to him, Harry. But it's moot point. No, sorry. Don't listen. Don't listen to him, Harry. But it's a moot point because you know they will wank over you no matter what you wear. Harry covered his face with his hands. He did know. He'd been out some very disturbing things over the years. We need to get publicity as soon as feasible, Draco said, quickly pivoting from the wank issue. Because the threat of public disapproval is what will stop the Ministry from taking action against us. So I think we'd better get a hold of someone at the Prophet, because their reach is much wider than Luna's. We'll be officially breaking the code this time, Hermione said, tapping her finger on the table. No more loopholes. Harry took a long sip of his ale. I'm not wearing a skirt. He was mostly resigned to it, whatever they planned for him at this point. But he had to put his foot down about that. Alright, quick break. I'm gonna go bathroom again. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I was very, very quick. Let's go. Foot down about that. I think I'll just finish with this one today because I was busy recording from 9 a.m. and it's like now 3 p.m. so I'm a little bit tired of reading things out loud. I won't lie to you. Preparing to apparate the next morning, Harry was exhausted. They'd stayed at the pub too late, planning. Well, Hermione and Draco planned. Ron and Harry drank. He'd taken a sobriety potion before bed to avoid hangover. He knew he was about to face Goldie Masters, protege of Rita Skeeter. What a load of bollocks. He closed his eyes and turned on the spot, finding himself in an alley near the cafe they'd selected for this meeting. It was early. Too early, because they still had to be at work by 8. He walked into the cafe, his eyes immediately landing on Draco and Hermione, stood in front of a table, talking animatedly to the reporter, whose quill scribbled furiously in the air over her left shoulder. They were much subdued. Whoops. They were much still bad. They were much subdued compared to yesterday, Harry noticed, but they were definitely breaking the dress code. Hermione wore a low-cut shirt, not skirt. Hermione wore a low-cut shirt that showed a sea of cleavage and bra straps. She wore no makeup, and her hair was wild mane. She wore a short skirt and tall boots. Harry wondered idly whether she'd owned any of these clothes before. Draco was wearing a... Nope. Draco wore a pair of skin-tight muggle jeans, trainers and a slim flannel shirt, top 3 buttons undone. He was wearing a fair amount of flashy jewelry that he'd probably fetched from the manor. His blonde hair, usually styled in an elegant asymmetrical flop, had been spelled long and hung straight and shiny down his shoulder blades. And he had a beard. A full, luxurious beard. Harry always thought that Lucius's long hair looked ridiculous. A prissy signal of his class and I think maybe I need to redo that one. Harry always thought that Lucius's long hair looked ridiculous. A prissy signal of his class and arrogance, but on Draco, or combined with the clothes, or combined with the beard, it didn't look like Lucius at all. It looked like a huge fuck you to everyone. And he also kind of looked like the cover of a smutty lumberjack romance novel. Except lumberjacks didn't usually wear jewelry. Nope. I'm gonna read it out. Except lumberjacks didn't usually wear jewelry. It was a bit of an odd look, really. Harry would have liked to say he was not into it. In truth, his libido liked it even more than the skirt. Well, at least as much as the skirt. Well, maybe Harry was just into Draco, because he was pretty distracted by him even on an average Tuesday. Goldie Masters turned around, her eyes widening with eager glee when she spotted Harry. She snapped her fingers, and a camera appeared in her hand. She held it up and clicked before Harry could even smile, but unintentionally grimace. Harry'd convinced the others that this type of campaign was worthless, if it didn't allow each person to express their own truths. Harry's truth wasn't makeup or skirts or beards. His shirt read, "Don't tell me what to wear." He walked past Goldie to inspect the others. "How did you do that to your hair?" Draco preened. A simple lengthening charm for the hair, a whiskers draught for the beard. Harry reached out without thinking, his hand magnetized towards the beard. But he stopped himself when he realized how awkward that was. "Can I touch it?" Go ahead," Draco said, in the tone of voice one might use when showing off an item one had made. Harry put his hand on Draco's cheek and rubbed it down the hair. It was soft, not the prickly feeling of stubble, but coarser than head hair. It felt good. Harry brought his eyes to Draco's and found them staring back at him, a pink flush high on Draco's cheekbones. Harry cleared his throat. Right. Hello, Goldie. Mr. Potter, she enthused. Welcome. Tell me why the public should care about the Ministry's new dress code. Hermione looked at him nervously over Goldie's shoulder. Everyone always listened to Harry more than others, which was preposterous, really, because this wasn't even his thing, and yet the success of it would hinge on his retention of Hermione and Draco's outrage. Because the Ministry is attempting to encode and enforce a system of binary gender presentation, Harry said, and watched Hermione breathe a sigh of relief. And they have no legitimate reason for doing so. Goldie asked him another question, and Harry felt proud. He did care about this, no matter how reluctant he'd been to participate. And seeing Hermione and Draco's approving faces, knowing that he would be making the workplace a safer environment for everyone, but especially for trans and non-binary folk, he couldn't help but smile. Good morning, Harry, Draco said, with a fair amount of cheer, as Harry walked into the office the following day. Have you seen the Prophet? I'm expecting an irate owl from my father any minute. Care to join me? I know you're as eager as I am to see... Join me? I know you're as eager as I am to see what he has to say. The article's out, then? Harry asked. And Draco handed him the paper. Above the fold, a photo of the four of them, each breaking the dress code, looped below the headline. Golden Trio takes on that which must not be worn. Draco was in a skirt again. This one looked like it'd been transferred... Draco was in a skirt again. Draco was in a skirt again. This one looked like it had been transfigured from a pair of herringbone trousers of Draco's that Harry recalled. His hair was still long, beard still beardy. Harry dropped the paper onto the desk. What's he going to say? My father, Draco grinned. Who knows? He might threaten disowning, that's always fun. He could go in another direction and lecture me on discretion. Then again, it's always possible he'll... Then again, it's always possible he'll try to curse me through the post with some kind of magical object. Then again, it's always possible he'll try to curse me through the post with some kind of magical object, to turn me into a boring straight man, in hopes I'll settle down with a witch and inseminate an heir. He shuddered. One wrinkled his nose. Would he use the word inseminate that way? Makes you seem like cattle. I am one person, and as such, cannot be cattle. It makes me seem like a bull. His face dropped a little bit, though, as he added, and yes, it does, doesn't it? Harry was overcome with a desire to comfort, and reached up to awkwardly pat Draco's arm. Oh, well. Nope. Ah, well. That's why I can't have a moral obligation never to tone it down, right? Draco smiled. Can't let the squares win. There was a faint dinging noise, as a bright red envelope appeared in Draco's inbox. I can't believe he actually sent a howler, Harry hissed. Wouldn't that, like, broadcast family drama? Draco frowned at it. He must have decided that I am such a disgrace. Nope. He must have decided that I am such a disgrace. Nope. He must have decided that I am such a disgrace, he needs to go on record against my antics. Harry, amazed at Draco's equanimity, watched as Draco took a deep breath, tucked his long hair behind his ears, and opened the letter. At his touch, it flew out of his fingers into the air. It didn't shout. It merely magnified Lucius's terrifying hiss by a few dozen decibels. Draco, your behavior is a disgrace to yourself and to the Malfoy name. For thousands of years, your forebears have behaved with decorum and modesty, only diverging from norms of remnant when doing so offered a chance to display our class. Only diverging from norms of remnant when doing so offered a chance to display our class. Your actions show how little you respect your family, your culture, and indeed, England itself. Please, do not bother contacting us until such a time as you respect the responsibility of making sartorial choices befitting your class, rank, and gender. If I'd wanted to take a chance on begetting a daughter, I would not have what the fuck does that mean? Procope contacts. To take a chance on begetting a daughter. Can I just look this up real quick?
Michelle, called Procope Couto Coltelli.
Procope Couto. Okay. Chance on begetting a daughter. I would not have brewed a Procope Couto Persian. Procope Couto. I would not have brewed a Procope. I would not have brewed a Procope. I would not have brewed a Procope Couto potion. For a long moment, in the silence that followed, Draco's face was completely blank. And Harry didn't know what to do. Lucius Malfoy's words, as always, were so offensive as to still, after all these years, shock Harry. He couldn't even consider the absolutely delusional whitewashing of Malfoy family history, because he was too concerned with how Draco would respond to the rest of it. But as quickly as the numb look had crossed Draco's face, he turned towards the watching auras, broke into a wide smile, and effected a dramatic bow, hand twirling and all. The auras burst into hoots and applause, and Harry couldn't help but huff a laugh. Everyone in the office loved Draco, and that was the result of hard work, years of building trust, proving to each of them that he had changed. They loved him not because he was a Malfoy, but because Draco was a good partner, a reliable co-worker, a fighter. Wow, my voice really gave up just then. They loved him. Okay, oops. They loved him not because he was a Malfoy, but because Draco was a good partner, a reliable co-worker, a fighter for everyone's causes. Because he told fantastic stories in the lunchroom, putting on dramatic voices and exaggerating just the right parts. Draco straightened and turned to Harry. Well, now that that's out of the way, do you have the updated Pidgey? Hermione and I are going to deliver it personally to the Minister. Of course they were, in those clothes. They didn't shy away from confrontation when working to make change. Harry's heart thumped, and he felt his cheeks heat as he said, "Yeah, I'll grab it for you." Harry dreamed that Draco showed up at his flat. Harry dreamed that Draco showed up at his flat in the middle of the night, wearing a pair of stilettos and climbing into bed, saying, "I want you to kiss me so badly, Harry. And if we kissed, it would really be sticking it to the man, wouldn't it? You'd like that, wouldn't you?" Harry was tired of this. He was tired of waking up feeling guilty for having dreams about someone who was supposed to be his friend. He was tired of fancying a bloke but not doing anything about it, like he was in 3rd year or something. He was tired of thinking... He was beyond tired of thinking that going for something with Draco was something he should not do. Because why not? Who cared what the public thought? Harry knew what Draco was like now, what he'd worked so hard to become. And that was all that mattered. And if Draco turned him down, well, if slicing someone open in a bathroom and nearly killing them didn't ruin a friendship, asking them on a date probably wouldn't. Harry stormed out of bed and threw open his wardrobe. Hermione and Draco anticipated that today would be the final showdown about the dress code. The Ministry was too competent with public regulations to get it... Final showdown about the dress code. The Ministry was too competent with public relations to let this go on any longer. Their plan was to break the dress code again, with the knowledge that they might find themselves in a meeting with the Minister. No. The plan was to break the dress code again, with the knowledge that they might find themselves in a meeting with the Minister, papped or sent home. "Dress accordingly," Hermione had said. The problem with dress accordingly was that almost anything could break the dress code. His dirty trainers again, skipping his morning dilapidatory charm, not changing out of his pajama bottoms. But those possibilities wouldn't help with the wider goal, which was to get a date with Draco. Holy shit. He was really going to do it. Harry's heart sped. He was going to make a move. Harry took a deep breath and plunged into the back of his wardrobe. Harry knew, without a doubt, that Hermione was right about his knees being more distracting than hers. One summer, Witch Weekly had published a photo of him at the beach with a cover story about his distinctive knees. His knees were just knobbly. Nothing special. Harry knew that. He wasn't delusional. He didn't have what people would call good legs. Except they did, because of who he was. Hermione took a deep breath. Hermione? Just gonna go back here. Harry took a deep breath and stared at the crowd of reporters standing in front of the war memorial. Okay, one more time. Harry took a deep breath and stared at the crowd of reporters standing in front of the war memorial fountain. He couldn't believe that the Wizengamot had decided they were allowed in the atrium, as if it were a public space. Well, there was nothing for it. Harry strode forwards, a big smile plastered on his face. He was certain that he wasn't as skilled as Draco at making a fake smile look genuine, but he did his best. A roar erupted as the reporters caught sight of Harry. They screamed his name and he blinked against dozens of flashes. Harry, what does your participation in this protest mean? Has the minister lost your support? Harry, over here. Does this mean you're still gay? What design are you wearing, Harry? He lifted his hands in a wave, smiled in place, and ignored them. He walked confidently. Nope. He walked confidently towards the lifts, nodding his head at the camera. Nope. He walked confidently towards the lifts, nodding his head at the cameras and hoping that his smile looked at all convincing. The smile vanished from his face as he walked out of the public area and into the lift's corridor. He leaned against the side of the lift to give his heart a chance to calm down, relishing the quiet and vaguely disdainful looks he was getting from a witch in traditional robes. The lift dinged for level 2. He wondered what Draco would be wearing today. Maybe he'd wear some kind of muggle skirt suit. Harry thought that might be a good choice for Draco, especially combined with his strong shoulders. Harry'd always had a thing for people with strong shoulders. He suspected it was related to Quidditch. Harry neared his desk and grinned. Ron had spelled his hair long, plaited it, and twirled the pat around and grinned. Ron had spelled his hair long, plaited it, and twirled the plait around the top of his head. Harry let out a wolf whistle. Ron turned, a wide grin on his face, and his eyes dropped to Harry's legs. He thrust a finger towards Harry and shouted, "You vixen!" Harry burst out laughing. Thank Merlin, Ron was in this with him. Thank Merlin, Ron was in this with him. Nice hair. Nice legs. I thought... Fuck. Nice hair. Nice legs. I thought you swore you would never wear those again. Ron squinted, then whispered, "Oi, mate. Where does lug hair..." Wait, one more time. Oi. Wait, where does lug hair... I didn't delete the whole thing. Oi, mate. Where does leg hair end and pubes begin? Because... He trailed off, hand waving. Harry rolled his eyes. Don't shame my body hair, Ronald. It's just... This whole look is extremely leggy. Ron bit into an apple. Usually when I see so much leg, they're shaved. It's just notable is all. He paused. Hermione is going to be so happy with you. Body hair is one of her upcoming courses, I just know it. Ah, excellent. Potter, you're here. Shit. That voice was Draco's. No one else in the office had that kind of posh drawl. Well, except for Macmillan and Smythe, Jones and Rogers, but none of them sounded like Draco. Harry didn't know what to do. Now he decided to make a move. How are you supposed to make a move? He'd always been complete shite at this. I need to talk to you about the Fob Turk case, because you were the last person to... Draco fell completely silent, eyes dropping to Harry's... Sorry. Completely silent. My voice is failing me. No. His eyes dropping to Harry's bottom half. You... Hi. Hi. Draco said. Harry's hair... No, whoops. Draco. I'm up to Draco. Draco's hair was back at its usual length today, but he still had the beard. And he was wearing a short skirt again. This time, it was a brown corduroy. "Hi," Harry said. "Oh, Merlin," Ron muttered. "Okay." He stood, pointing vaguely in the opposite direction. "I'm just going to..." He walked off. "You wore the boot..." "Nope." "You wore the boot..." "Nope. I need to be mad about this, I think." "You wore the booty shorts," Draco said, his tone almost accusing. "To the office." "The shorts from the parade." Yeah. Thought I'd test Hermione's theory that my knees are more distracting than hers." Harry shrugged, feeling like an absolute idiot. Like an exposed, absolute idiot. "Do they still have the..." Draco started to ask, but his mouth clacked shut before he could even finish his question. "Of course," Harry grinned, and spun around so Draco could see the back of his shorts. I'm gonna re-record that because I hit my mic. And spun around so Draco could see the back of his shorts. Last July, they'd all gone to London Pride Parade. Harry had tried to go in his usual clothes. A pair of jeans and a Queen t-shirt. He'd figured that the Queen t-shirt was basically buy Pride merch anyway. But Draco had scoffed, pushed Harry into the bathroom, and demanded that Harry pass him his jeans. So Harry had stripped to his pants and stuck his arm out to give Draco his jeans. A minute later, Draco had handed him back his cutoffs. Nope. A minute later, Draco had handed them back as cutoffs. Harry hesitated to even call them shorts. That's how short they were. "Draco, what the hell?" "You can't go to Pride looking like that, Harry. You'll give us all a bad name." Harry'd never been sure who the us in that sentence was, but he'd worn the cutoffs. He'd had to transfigure his boxers into briefs. Hermione had then shown up with a box of magical pride paints that would take on the stripes of different pride flags when you smeared them onto something. Draco grabbed the bottle with the bicolors, covered his hands in it, snuck behind Harry, and pressed his hands onto Harry's cut-off-clad arse. Ron, assuming the robe... No, fuck. Harry, assuming the rogue arse-grabber was Ron, shouted, "Hey!" and spun around, ready to wrestle Ron into submission, only to see Draco standing there, hands covered with bisexual paint. "Did you just..." Harry asked, cheeks hot. It hadn't been his first choice of how Draco would be... It hadn't been his first choice of how Draco would first grab his arse. Draco's face had turned bright red. An endearing bright red. "You required thematic adornment." It all felt more conspicuous in the office. When Harry completed his spin, Draco's eyes snapped away from Harry's shorts. The shorts are, of course, spectacular. I did an incredible job. Harry should laugh. Standing here staring at Draco was going to make it more awkward. He should lighten up the mood. He said nothing, Draco's eyes were so light, silvery grey in the industrial strength lumos. Draco, Roberts walked into the room and clapped his hands. Attention! Hermione, sorry, I just read ahead. Hermione, wearing what appeared to be a burlap sack, walked in behind him. Sorry. Hermione, wearing what appeared to be a burlap sack, walked in behind him. The new dress code in the Code of Conduct has been revoked, and new changes to the code will be considered in committee. Harry breathed a sigh of relief. Committee meant that no changes would... Harry breathed a sigh of relief. Committee meant that there would be no changes for at least a year. His favorite trainers would not be forsaken. The department has been asked to contribute 4 people to sit on the committee. Granger, Malfoy. Harry held his breath. Rogers, Jeff. Harry sighed in relief. Rogers and Jeff were 2 veteran Aurors. Sighed in relief. Rogers and Jeff were 2 veteran Aurors who wore exclusively traditionalist visiting clothing. What that means is, if you're wearing some bullshit clothes right now, get out of here. And don't come back until you're dressed in minimally reasonable way. Come back dressed as if there was a few weeks ago and we'd never discussed a dress code. I'm not saying anything else, or you'll twist my words around and make me into some kind of bigot. I've seen more of Potter's ass cheeks ever... I've seen more of Potter's ass cheeks than I ever needed to, but that doesn't make me a bigot. Now get out of here! Draco's lips curled up in a small smile. He didn't draw attention to himself, just looked privately pleased. Draco. When their eyes met, Harry continued. Come with me. We can go celebrate while we're changing our clothes. Draco's eyes widened. I didn't mean... Marlin. I just meant come back to my place with me and we can talk for a minute before we change into... you know, trousers. Draco gave him a bit of a long look. All right. Draco wrapped Hermione in a congratulatory hug, punctuated with many back pats and laughs, and the 3 of them chatted animatedly on the walk to the atrium. Ron didn't need to go home. He just finita'd his hair. Hermione stepped into the flue first, and whooshed away practically mid-sentence in planning for the new committee. After she was out of sight, Harry turned to Draco. I'm just glad I don't have to be on that committee. Draco raised an eyebrow. You think Roberts would put you on a committee? After what happened last time, at the charity fundraiser for the animal shelter, when the International Confederations of Wizards had to get involved? Draco had a point. Well, Harry said, gesturing vaguely to his bottom half, I did my part. Draco's eyes flitted down and then shot back up. Harry swallowed. Should we go? Draco held his hand out, indicating Harry should go first. I can't believe you wore those shirts to the office, Draco said, the second they were out of the flue. I can actually see your ass cheeks. My handprint didn't even fit on those shorts. The bottoms of my palms are missing, And you walked around with that part of the paint on your ass for the rest of the day. Spent a lot of time looking at my ass that day, Harry asked. Then internally kicked himself because shouldn't he be preening at that rather than taking the piss? Only because you were wagging it in my face all day, Potter. Draco didn't miss a beat. He never did. Draco, Harry stopped. He didn't know how to continue. You look good in miniskirts. You look good in booty. You look good. You look good in booty shorts. No. You look good in booty shorts, Draco retorted. Doesn't mean I want to see your ass in the office. Harry wrinkled his nose. Yeah. Hopefully they can manage to work out a dress code that doesn't put an undue burden on anyone. But, you know, keeps people's ass cheeks under wraps. How many times can we say ass cheeks in one conversation? Draco asked. I'm gonna redo that because I was laughing. How many times can we say ass cheeks in one conversation? Draco asked. The side of his mouth turning up into a grin. I wanted to tell you. I'm sorry about that stuff your dad said. Draco's nose wrinkled. Don't be sorry about him. He's always like that. He'll forget by Sunday brunch. Doesn't make it easier to hear those things. Draco hitched his shoulders in a shrug. Well, I'm sorry your literal ass is going to be all over the papers. Though I suppose it's not the first time. And we appreciate your help in advocating for the cause. Are you going to keep wearing skirts to work? Harry asked, with interest as he sat down on the sofa to unlace his trainers. Do you want me to? Harry's head snapped up. Draco stood in front of him, arms crossed. Was this meant to be his opening? His chance to make a move? I don't know how to answer that without sounding like a creeper. Draco didn't say anything, just raised one eyebrow. You look good in skirts, Harry said, sighing with resignation. He was just gonna get it out there. But you look good in anything. I don't care what clothes you wear. I just like you. I mean, I like you. I've been trying to figure out how to say something. Draco's mouth curled in a slow, devious smile. Oh, really? Harry nodded. I can't believe you wore those shorts. Draco crossed his arms over his chest. All I could think about was the fact that I painted your ass in them. Harry frowned. Can you say something that actually addresses what I just said? What do you mean, Potter? I said I like you, and you didn't respond. Just came back with some tangential thing and left me sitting here, wondering if you like me back. Harry kicked his shoes to the side. Which is ridiculous, because I'm not 12. Draco's face twisted into a sly grin. And what had Harry been thinking? Fancying a Slytherin. This was a terrible idea. But then Draco walked forward, and planted one knee to the side of Harry and straddled him, sitting back on Harry's knees. Harry's heart beat erratically. They were so close. Draco had a tiny freckle in the corner of his eye, and Harry could see straight up the skirt to Draco's pants. Harry wasn't even sure if it counted as up the skirt in this position, since he could see the Since he could see the pants in plain view. No, I'm gonna just redo the whole line. Harry... Wait, I'm gonna take a break and turn on the aircon. It's getting way too hot, even though it's starting to go down. Ah, jeez. I can't believe it's nearly 4 p.m. I've been recording for so long today. Quick nap time. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Nom nom nom. Fourth fic, come on, we can do it. We can do it! To Draco's pants. We can do it. And then, I'm gonna take the fattest nap I've ever taken. I love naps. Harry wasn't even sure it counted as up the skirt in this position, since he could see the pants in plain view. Does this answer your question? Draco asked. No, Harry said in a challenging tone. Not yet. But Draco was right there, kissing him, and Harry's body melted into the sofa. Nope, it's still too hot. I'm turning it back on. I can't do it. Melted into the sofa. Oh, man. I dream of a life where I can breathe. I feel like Ariel. I'm fucking underwater. God damn. Okay, more water. Quick snack. Ugh, I feel like a hamster. I just need like a break once in a while. Just gotta sit down. Rare evidence of me eating food. This is insane. I think my voice is actually dying because I've been like reading all day. I can actually hear it frying. Melted into the sofa. Okay, nearly done. A little bit more water and then I'm gonna finish this off. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. Whew. This was crazy. Why did my mouth make that noise? It was a work day. He was meant to be at work. And instead, his bare legs and a pair of cut-off jeans were pressed against Draco's bare ones. A corduroy skirt hiked up over his arse. And Harry reached around to tangle one hand in Draco's hair, while the other stroked Draco's beard. Draco leaned forward, pressing their bodies yet closer together. Draco pulled away, leaving Harry flushed and out of breath. I'm not going to keep wearing skirts to work. It's comfortable or whatever, but it's not my thing. I mean, I don't particularly like the macho aesthetic, but I can subvert it plenty without wearing skirts. Does that disappoint you? Of course not. Because... Of course not. One more time. Of course not. Good, because I really shouldn't wear them anymore. I don't want people to think I'm, like, faking it for a laugh or for attention. That would be offensive. Harry attempted to force his face into a serious expression. I'm not planning on wearing these shorts again either. I'll keep them. Draco grinned deviously. But not for the office. Maybe getting together with a Slytherin was a good idea after all. A hooting noise alerted them to an owl flying through the owl door Harry had installed above the window. It landed on the side table. Nope. It landed on the side table next to the novelty lamp of a gnome, holding a torch. Harry leaned over and retrieved the letter, which was addressed to Draco. Draco unfolded it. His face softened as he read, and he handed it to Harry. Draco, thank you, and thank Hermione for your advocacy with the dress code. It's a huge win today for LGBT+ folk, and I appreciate your taking on the burden. I feel like I should have done something, but I didn't have the spoons. It means a lot to know we have people like you, making sure we're protected. All the best. It's not signed. No. It's not signed, Harry said, looking up at Draco and grinning. I think I know who it's from. We spoke to them when it first happened, to make sure we had input from those the policy hurt most. Harry blinked. You made a real difference to this person. The owl flew out with a farewell hoot. Of course we did, Draco said. Did you think I did this just to annoy my father? No, I can't take it. Why is it so hot? I'm dying out here. Oh! I can't do it. I can't do it. Annoy my father. Oh man. Y'all, don't come here. Don't come to this country. We're all suffering here. Oh my god. I feel like I can't breathe, that's how hot it is. Okay. Hold on. I'm like flash freezing myself. I don't know how to explain this. No. No, one more. No. Harry glanced down at the letter again. Annoying my father was a fringe benefit. Hermione and I have enough privilege to do something like this without too much retribution. I'll say it again, Harry teased. I love hearing you admit how privileged you are. Feels like you're telling me how right I was about you, all those years ago. Draco ignored him, pulling the letter from Harry's hands and dropping it to the side. He placed his hands on Harry's thighs, rubbing them up and down for a moment. I really like your legs. They're just normal legs, Harry said, around a hitch in his throat. People make a big deal, but they're just normal, weird-looking legs. I really like your legs, Draco repeated, meeting Harry's eyes. No, you were right the first time, Kay. Australia, Australia. Eyes. It's too fucking hot here, man. Don't come. Oh man. It's horrendous. Harry swallowed. And we did tell Roberts we'd take the shorts off. Yep. And we did... Oh, fuck. Hold on. And we did tell Roberts we'd take the shirts off. That's true, Harry said, grinning. What about your beard? What do you think? Draco asked, bringing a hand up to dramatically frame his face for inspection. Harry shrugged. He had no opinion. I think it's your body. Draco lunged forward and pressed another heated kiss to Harry's lips. Harry's eyes widened, and he couldn't help but let out a moan when Draco ground down on him. What do you think Weasley will do? Draco asked, if Hermione keeps her beard. Harry laughed, tipping his head back. Ron tries. No, one more. Ron tries. Draco pressed his weight down again, and Harry whispered into Draco's neck. You have to admit, the skirt is pretty nice in this context. Draco hummed in agreement against Harry's hair. We can keep it for weekends, maybe. Harry nudged Draco with his knee to urge him off, so they could go into the other room. But Draco stopped him with a hand against But Draco stopped him with a hand against Harry's chest. By the way, annoying my father is only a fringe benefit. Harry's brow furrowed in confusion. You said that already. No, I mean this. You and me. It's not to annoy him. It's... Oh. Draco was finally answering, telling Harry how he felt. I know, Harry said, and Draco smiled. Harry stood. I can't wait to get these shorts off. You cut them way too short. Draco gasped with some drama. How dare you? They're perfect. Harry peered over his shoulder to look at his arse, which had Draco's handprints on them. Out of the corner, he could see Draco's shirt. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see Draco's skirt hiked up awkwardly on one side, and the letter on the sofa. Yeah, sure, Harry said, grabbing Draco's wrist. Yeah, sure, Harry said. No. Grabbing Draco's wrist and tugging him towards the bedroom. Perfect. How long do you think we can skiv off work? Oh, we're done, y'all. That took ages. That was a lot of fun, though. I liked it. Oh, it's just too hot. Way too hot. Oh, let's do this on a less hot day. For sure. This is great, guys. Thank you for joining me in my very late and delayed stream. I hope you enjoyed. I will read the PJ01 next week. I think 4 fix is enough for one day. I'm gonna take a fat nap in front of the aircon. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely day. Ah! My ending segment will just be me doing this sound. Goodbye. Ah!